And in this story, we learned that the main characters are 4 blind men and the elephant rider. So if you've completed this graphic organizer, you're just following along again on this split screen. The setting was kind of like, I was unsure about that. I just had like on a street, maybe in like a town. But the problem was that the 4 blind men have never seen an elephant and do not know what it looks like. The events that happened, some of the major events, were that a man rides past on an elephant telling people to clear the way. 4 blind men state that they've never seen an elephant. So the rider allows them to touch the elephant. They all touch different parts of the elephant, and then they all disagree about the appearance of the elephant, and the rider then laughs at them. Now, what happened at the end of the text? Well, we learn that then the 4 blind men continue to argue about why the rider laughs and then leaves. So we know now that at the end of that story, I think that I'm actually repeating this part, so sorry about that. But the 4 blind men then continue an argument. This time it's not necessarily about the appearance of the elephant, but why the rider is laughing and then leaving. So if we were going to summarize this story, including some of those main points and also mentioning the characters and the problem, we might say something like, a man is riding an elephant and passes 4 blind men. They say that they have never seen an elephant, so the rider offers to let them touch the animal. Again, we're mentioning some of the main characters, the elephant rider, the 4 blind men, and the problem. They have never seen an elephant. And we're also mentioning that main detail there, that the rider offers to let them touch the animal. After each man touches a different part of the elephant, they argue about its appearance, and the rider laughs and leaves. Then the men continue to argue about why the rider laughed. So then also mentioning the solution. After you guys completed this graphic organizer and then summarized this short text, you also had some multiple choice questions to respond to. So now in the second part of this video, I want to go over to those multiple choice questions to kind of revisit and review those with you guys. To yesterday for that text, the blind men and the elephant. So in the first question, you had to choose 3 of the most important events to use in a summary of this drama. So when we read through these events, we have the elephant rider allows 4 blind men to touch the elephant. The blind men touch different parts of the elephant. One man says the elephant must be like a snake. One man declares the elephant is round and tall, like a tree. Each man claims that only he knows what an elephant is like. And in the last detail, the blind men cannot agree about why the rider is laughing. Well, if I were going to choose the 3 details that I think are the most important events to include in a summary, I definitely need to know that an elephant rider allows the 4 blind men to touch the elephant. I think we can all agree that's probably the most important detail. The other detail that's going to be really important to include is that they are all touching different parts of the elephant. That's what causes this major disagreement among these 4 men. Now, these details right here, that one says that it must be like a snake, the other one says it's round and tall like a tree, you kind of will know those details by including detail letter E right here. Each man claims that only he knows what an elephant is like. I think that by including that detail, you've kind of eliminated the need for these 2. Because really, if you think about it, that's only 2 explanations from 2 of your 4 blind men. If you were going to include one of these, you'd actually need all 4. So the last detail, let's look here. The men cannot agree about why the rider is laughing. Well, that's really just kind of the end of the story. And just one more detail, but if we're talking about the problem and in the main events, that's going to include these 3 details that we would include in our summary. Let's look at question number 2. Which statement best summarizes why the elephant rider laughs? Well, we know that that happened at the very end of the story, and he starts laughing because really, he's talking to 4 blind men, so we know that they are unable to see. And each of those 4 men claims that they know exactly what an elephant looks like. So let's see which of our answer choices really matches that idea. Each man believes the rider is laughing at the other man. Well, that is true. Let's see if there's a better answer. 3 of the men agree the rider is laughing at what the 4th man has said. They do say that, well, no, that's actually not true. At the very end, doesn't the 4th man say, no, he's laughing at all 3 of you? So that detail is actually written incorrectly for how it happened in the story. So this one is incorrect. Let's look at C. None of the men can see the elephant, but all 4 claim to be experts on its appearance. Now, in my opinion, that kind of matches exactly why the rider laughs, doesn't it? Because we know that they cannot see the elephant. They say in the beginning they've never seen an elephant. They all touch different parts of the elephant. Therefore, they all think that an elephant looks very different from each other. So I think that this answer is probably the best one, but let's look at letter choice D. The 4 men foolishly thank the rider for allowing them to get close to his pet elephant. I don't really think that they thank him, and I don't think that it's really done foolishly. That one is not even mentioned in the text. So we've narrowed it down to A and C, and I think that we can all agree the best choice is letter C. So that wraps up part 2 of this video. In the next part, we'll go through and we're going to introduce the text that you are going to be reading today.